Greetings everyone. Today I'm just here with a short video on how to expand one's spiritual awareness. And this just doesn't apply to the spiritual, this applies to your overall awareness. But today I'm just sharing with you a few practices that will help expand this awareness. Now, it is important to expand your awareness because ultimately awareness is consciousness. Consciousness is everything. Like everything that exists ultimately breaks down into consciousness. And a couple reasons you want to expand your awareness, I'll just give you a few. For one, it makes communication with everyone much easier. And I say that because, believe it or not, the higher you expand your awareness, or say your consciousness, people will pick up on that. And you can use that to attract people and energies, or you can use it to repel. But you'll notice that people will be easier to communicate with. You'll also notice that you will be able to attract or manifest things in your life. And we all have the ability to do that. The difference is when you expand your awareness, sometimes when we want things in life, we get frantic, we start to worry, we start to stress. When you higher your awareness, it puts you in a sense of knowing that what is meant to come to you will ultimately come to you, and it just reduces all the stress. For example, I know everything that I want will come to me, so I'm not stressing about it. Like, I already have many of those things, and a lot of this, that's the first practice. You want to claim what you want. And I don't mean like, say if you want a Lamborghini or something material, you could claim to get the Lamborghini, but what I mean by that is, I guess for a better sense of words, is live in the end, which basically means to live your life as if you have already achieved everything that you wanted. By doing this, it will put your mind in almost like a trance state to basically believe that you have accomplished the said things that you wanted to accomplish. And if you carry that belief long enough, you will start to notice those same things. As long as you're not stressing about them, they will begin to start coming to you. Now, that is the first practice, and that is probably the least effort practice, because it's really just a mindset. You have to believe everything. You have to believe you have everything that you want already, essentially. It's essentially being grateful for what you have and accepting the things you don't have. But the things you don't have, in the current moment, you just see them as they're not here yet. And maybe it's a reason that it's not here yet, but you know deep down that it's coming to you, and you have to keep that mindset. You shouldn't be stressing about things that you want in life, because it's never going to come. Yes, you do have to work for things, but at the same time, things will come to you if you just let them. Now, my next practice involves finding a dark space. I prefer to do this in a shower. It's a form of sensory deprivation. So with this practice, you want to find a dark area. I mean pitch black, whether it's your closet. Like I said, I do it in my shower. I'll make the water cold. You don't have to do this, but find a dark space, make sure it's completely dark, and while you do that, try to envision colors. This will not only improve on your cognitive abilities, there's actually a lot of science backing this up, but it will also serve as a form of guided meditation, because you may not realize it, but what you're doing on a more subtle level, you're creating images in your head. And I know we do this all the time when we think, but we don't consciously do it. When you get in the dark space and you start to envision these colors, you'll notice over time, if you keep practicing this, you will be able to envision more and more and more until it looks like a kaleidoscope. And this is all relevant because to manifest something, you have to envision it first. So what this exercise, what you're doing in the dark, you're really practicing envisioning things and creating things for them to come to you. It allows for that whole process to flow more efficiently. Now, my next practice involves abstaining from food, also known as fasting. And my preferred day to do it is on Saturday. And you may be wondering why. Well, the Sabbath day, which Sabbath, the definition of Sabbath means to abstain and it means to rest. It's a lot of debate on what day is the Sabbath, but to me, the Sabbath is on Saturday, and here's why. When you look at the word Sabbath, like I already stated, it means to rest or abstain, which means to basically don't indulge or do things. Stay away from those things. If you look at the word Saturn, which is already close to Sabbath, so is the word Saturday. The day of Saturday is ruled by the planet Saturn. And all of the days of the week are ruled by a different planet. You can look into that yourself, but we're strictly talking about Saturday right now. And why is this all relevant? You see, the planet Saturn is related to what is known as sacrifice, which is also, you see, the Saturday, Sabbath, sacrifice, Saturn. They all have that SA. Sacrifice is abstaining from things. For example, fasting. We spend, or at least me, I work Monday through Friday. I eat pretty big meals Monday through Friday. Saturday is my day off. So on that day, I choose to rest and abstain from food. And there are a lot of health benefits to fasting, but there is also a lot of spiritual benefits to fasting, and that's what we're really getting at right now. If you look in the Bible, and just for the record, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bible, but there is a lot of truth in hidden knowledge with deeper meanings in the Bible. You have the character Moses, you have the character Saul, you have the character Daniel, you have the character Jesus. They all fasted, and after a period of fasting, they started to receive these divine messages and visions. And that literally what fasting will do for you. That's why this is one of my methods of expanding my awareness, fasting. And it doesn't just have to be food, for the record. You know, when you fast, you can also abstain from intercourse if you have a partner. And even if you indulge in intercourse, if you retain the seed, that still counts as fasting, for those that know what I'm talking about. And on the topic of awareness, before I go on to my next point, you'll notice when you're fasting, your mind becomes a lot sharper. It's almost like you're a lion on the hunt looking for prey. You know, you're not very distracted. You have almost like a tunnel vision, just focused and locked in. That increases concentration, which also expands awareness. And when your tummy is full, you're spending all of that extra energy you have digesting your food. So while you're fasting, that energy is just free and untapped potential. So just think about that next time before you eat. And the last practice I'm going to share with you today involves invoking different energies. So we know that every name carries a different vibration, whether it's your name or anyone's name. We also know that our words carry power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Now, with this practice, I want you to find a god or a deity that you look up to. It can be God, it can be Jesus, it can be Lucifer, it can be Krishna, it can be Ra, it can be Horus, it can be Osiris, it can be Buddha, it can be Dionysus, it can really be anybody. Whoever you feel like you have a connection to is the real word. And the practice is to say that name 500 times the first day. The next day, you're going to go up 200 more times. So say if you start on Monday, you'll say that name 500 times. Tuesday, you go up by 200. You want to say 700 times. And every day you go up 200 until the week restarts, and then you drop back down to 500. And what this will do, it will not only help you focus, because you will have to focus to count and say these names that amount of times, which also expands awareness. But what you're doing is, like I stated earlier, there is power in names, and there is power of the tongue, So with you reciting these names over and over again, you are tapping into those archetypal energies. And that's the video for today. Let me know if you want to know more. I'm out.